this is a very special project, this one. As Sarah mentioned, we hold a conference in Dili every 2 years. The Timor-Leste Studies Association was founded in 2005 with a one-day symposium here in Melbourne. Some of you were there. And then, more significantly, we started holding conferences at the University Nacional de TLSA in Dili from 2009, every 2 years. And as Sarah just mentioned, that's been getting bigger and bigger. And I must say, the Malay, the foreigners are vastly outnumbered now at the conference. There's, last one we had 300 people, 200 Timorese, 100 Malay, and that's, really grown over the years, and it's wonderful to see. Why did we establish the association? Well, during the occupation, Timor studies didn't exist really. It was incorporated into Indonesia studies as the country had forcibly been, with some very wonderful exceptions, including Helen herself. A lot of academics treated East Timor-Leste within that context of Indonesian studies. And of course, by 2005, we realised this was completely inappropriate and never had always been, and that the country deserved its own Area Studies Association, so in collaboration with the National University, which we've always worked with, and a host of Timorese and non-Timorese researchers, we established the association, and every 2 years held a conference until 2021, of course, where it was simply not possible with COVID to hold a conference in Dili. We couldn't travel there, it wasn't allowed in any case. So we started to think about alternatives, and of course the 30-year anniversary of the Santa Cruz Massacre was coming up, and we determined, in collaboration with the Centro Nacional Chega, the National Institute of Memory in Timor-Leste, that we would instead hold an online forum with participants live in Dili and people around the rest of the world about this topic alone, because it deserved its own focus. This incredibly important event in the struggle for Timorese independence. When this footage hit the airwaves in 1991, I saw it, we all saw it, and it was shocking. This was before the days of mobile phones. You weren't getting uploads on the phone like you sometimes do from West Papua until the Indonesians shut the internet these days. And so it was incredibly powerful footage, and it put the struggle for Timorese independence absolutely back on the map in the rest of the world. And so it was a massive tribute to the brave Timorese who were there on that day, which we just heard about, who were almost exclusively very young people, by the way, in this context. Of course, more than 250 were killed on that day. And of course, the New Zealander as well was also killed. And they gave their lives for their country. And the footage itself was incredibly moving around the world, not just in places like Portugal and Australia and around the world. It had a reverberating impact, and Indonesian rule in Timor-Leste received a blow that day from which it never truly recovered. It was really from that point onwards. So it's an incredibly important event in Timorese history. Of course, Max Stahl was there that day. I should say that before this symposium in 2021, Max Stahl knew about it. He was still alive. He died in the weeks before and left us a note and had done some preparation for it and thinking about it and some suggestions. And it is dedicated to Max Stahl. I want to just make a couple of comments about it. There's a wonderful illustration here by a Timorese Australian artist, Ryan Alfonso, which is a beautiful illustration exclusively for this book. Please get yourself a copy for a couple of reasons. I mean, it's an extraordinary collection. It's very close to my heart. It's not a standard academic book. There are academic papers in it, but they follow on from personal recollections from key figures who organised the Santa Cruz rally that led to the massacre, not least of which is Gregorio Saldana, Giri Saldana, who was the chief organiser of that rally, gave his memories. That we had a forum first in which participants in that day, organisers in that day, spoke. That was amazing. That ended up being exclusively in Teton, and I'm pleased to say that was recorded because I believe it will be an important document in Timorese national heritage in the future. And so they were speaking about their role on that day. Constancio Pinto, of course, who was very high up in the clandestine hierarchy, and Joanna Diaz. They spoke with personal recollections of that day. And so Timorese students today will be able to see this into the future. It's a very important document. Those speeches have been translated into English, and in the case of Gregorio, Portuguese, because he's fluent in Portuguese, and they are here in this text. Then followed by some wonderful Maria Madeira paintings and also some wonderful photographs. You see we've no expense spared. We normally go black and white with the TLSA publications, but we've got full colour. So here, please keep the minutes followed by a host of academic papers, mostly in English and something in Portuguese. Please get yourself a copy. TLSA will just take the printing price. We're giving the rest to AETA. The fundraiser, so it's $30, is that right? Yeah. So that's $10 to AETA, which of course is a worthy cause in and of itself. I don't have a lot else that I really want to say other than to thank a bunch of people. I want to thank the Centro Nacional Chega. Hugo Fernandez in particular was very involved in organising this project, and so thank you, Noel, Hugo, and your team at CNC for that. I also want to thank the co-editors of the volume, Vanessa Herman, who was very involved in organising this project. It's hopefully online. Hi, Vanessa. Hannah Loney, Marisa Ramos-Gonçalves, and myself were the editors, but we also had a lot of help from others. Jose da Costa, I want to thank him. He did all the editing to get that video online. You can see the whole symposium online. That was done by Jose. Thanks, Mel. And Mika Barreto Suarez, and a host of other people who were very involved in putting this volume together and in organising the day. And of course, I'd like to thank the contributors here. Some of you are online. Thank you so much. And also the University of Alberta, the Open University of Portugal, that provided the technology to put it all online, and the Asian Studies Association of Australia that provided some funds towards this, as the CNC did. And of course, I'd like to thank my colleagues in Timor Studies for making the TLSA what it is. If you're interested in the TLSA, you can follow our Facebook page, or you can sign up to our email service. We send around new research on Timor-Leste every month, and sign up for that, and you can also get advised of upcoming events like this one. So without any further ado, it's not usually done to launch one's own book, but I would like to just, I think, finish on a note of memory for those who lost their lives at Santa Cruz. Thank you.